So what should someone look for when buying land for a tiny house? That's a great question. And I guess there's a few things you should look for, right? One, that you can put a tiny house there. Let's take this in two sections. Let's take it in, I'm going to be under the radar and not worry about the, regulations and stuff, which a lot of people do, or I'm going to go through official channels and get everything permitted, etc. So if you're way out in the country, a lot of people will just put a tiny house on a piece of land, which is what I did. I built a tiny house. I'm a carpenter. I knew how to build a house that was safe and, basically to code, but my own adaptation of code. I used some different types of framing lumber and different things. But if you're doing that, then the main things you want to look for are, that your land is probably not in a flood zone and that you can put a septic and a well there if you're out in the country, right? If you're doing something urban or on the fringe of a city, you might even get lucky and have municipal water and sewer. But if you have municipal water and sewer, then that probably also means that you will be pulling permits and doing everything through the county that you're working with, right? So the primary thing is well and septic, and then you want to make sure there's, electricity that's available there, right? If you want to run electricity, unless you're going to try and go solar. And then if you're doing permits, then you have to check with your local municipality and find out what is permitted, what they'll allow in terms of tiny houses. A lot of places now have tiny house initiatives where they're trying to encourage people to build tiny houses. So you just need to check with the county and find out and what's allowed in terms of square footage, in terms of construction, et cetera, et cetera.